what's the other way that you would come to get home?
Going to the SunRoad.
So you would just come back through going to the SunRoad.
Yeah, I'll be checking it before we leave tomorrow. Or just plan to spend a lot of time in line.
Well, so when we came up that very first time before we had a rig, how did we get to the St. Mary? Did we come through East Glacier?
We didn't come through East Glacier.
Browning.
We came up through Browning.
Okay, Browning. So what's the name of where Rolf lives? Yeah, they were very nice. One of them brought their son, their teenage son, with their son who is about my age. And the thing I remember about him. In fact, that family supported my parents. They were kind of almost the last ones. She was still sending my.
What's that?
I don't know.
Is that a dog?
It's a dog, I think, by the tail. Is it a dog? Two dogs. Oh, they're big. She was, sent money to my mom all the way till she died, till the supporter died. And, but anyway, back to the teenage boy. I don't remember his name. I remember I had Peter, Paul, and Mary on, or I was talking about Peter, Paul, and Mary, and he was just poo-pooing them. They still have the old-fashioned guitars. They don't have the electric guitars.
Their guitars have 6 strings. You only need 4.
They were pretty good at those guitars, let me tell you. Anyway, I was not impressed. I still am more impressed with a good classical guitar than I am with electric. I should probably pull mine out. Become good at it. I don't even know where to start now because I don't know where any of the guitar stores are anymore. They've all shut down. I don't know where you go get guitar strings. Going to the SunRoad way more this year than we ever did last year. not have gone through that East Glacier, the compound down there, because all I've been thinking about now is how ugly it is and how I would make it beautiful if I lived there and had money. Have to fix the road, put in some sidewalks, get rid of the junk, plant lots of flowers. Leave my airplane mode on?
Well, right now, if you've got cell signal, you can check your stuff through cell signal. But when we get into Glacier, I'd put the airplane mode on just so you don't burn through all your battery. How much battery do you have?
75%. Okay, so
I don't know if you'll have a signal out here or not, but
yeah, I don't know that I have a signal
I
here.
think St. Mary's is supposed to have a signal.
Yeah.
associations and combinations of animal communities not generally found together. Here at the Two Dog Flats area, shortgrass prairie species from the east mingle with dry east slope Rocky Mountain forests, creating a rich environment. It's not uncommon to see coyotes and badgers hunting ground squirrels in the meadows while hawks soar overhead seeking voles and mice. Deer hidden in the forest during the day frequent the meadows in the morning and evening hours. Songbirds from the prairies and the forests alike can be heard singing their mating calls and territorial warnings. Predators find a rich source of food in areas like Two Dog Flats because of the abundance of food for prey species to take advantage. These meadows are also important winter range for elk. Throughout the winter, a small band of several hunted elk can be found grazing in the flats and on the meadows down near St. Mary. These areas are usually blown free of snow by the near-constant winds in the St. Mary Valley, making it an easier wintering ground for them. In the spring, however, the elk move to higher ground and generally spend the summer in the mountains, seen towering in the background. If you're here in the spring or in the fall, expect to see elk in the evenings and the mornings. Two Dog Flats is beautiful any season of the year. Winter is stark and harsh, and few visitors see the park during this quiet time of the year. But in the summer, a profusion of wildflowers carpets the meadows and offer a treat for both botanists and wildlife enthusiasts. Spend a while at Two Dog Flats, and you will see that this meadow is alive with activity.
Do you want me to do that so you don't have to keep doing
Next one's Rising Sun.
Backdrop and St. Mary Lake just a short walk away, this stop on the Going to the SunRoad offers breathtaking scenery as well as many services and activities. Accommodations are available in motel or cabin units and at the 82 site Rising Sun Campground. A camp store and gift shop offers souvenirs, basic groceries, and camping necessities. A casual restaurant offers Southwestern and traditional American fare and can provide boxed lunches to those headed out for the day on the trails. In addition, showers are available for a fee. This is the only location in Glacier National Park that has showers. Tours aboard the historic red buses depart from Rising Sun, and the park's new free shuttle system stops here as well. The trailhead to Otokomi Lake is located near the camp store, and this interesting 10-mile round trip starts in the wooded St. Mary Valley, climbs past small waterfalls, creeks, and wildflowers before opening to the Rose Basin and Otokomi Lake, surrounded by impressive mountain scenery. Please remember that anywhere in Glacier National Park is bear country. Never hike alone, and be sure to make noise on the trails. Talking, singing, and clapping your hands occasionally are all good ways to alert bears to your presence and provide them with time to move out of the way. Be sure to read all the information on bears you were provided at the park entrances before you attempt any trail in the park. Across the Going to the Sun Road, a short walk leads to the shore of St. Mary Lake, where majestic peaks surround the cold, clear water. Glacier Park Boat Company offers tours of St. Mary Lake several times daily and provides a view that most visitors miss. Waterfalls, Sexton Glacier, and Wild Goose Island are all highlights of a trip on the lake. Rangers lead hikes to St. Mary Falls in conjunction with some tours, or you can combine a boat tour up the lake with a hike to Bering, St. Mary, and Virginia Falls, and catch the free shuttle from the St. Mary Falls or Sunrift Gorge shuttle stops back to Rising Sun. From the lake's surface, mountains with names like Matotapa, Little Chief, and Dusty Star all speak to the rich influence of Native American culture in the area, and it's easy to see why Native Americans referred to this as the walled-in lake when you see the mountains from the perspective of the lake's surface.
I didn't realize Rising Sun had all that stuff. So, north staircase.
This large pullout along St. Mary Lake offers spectacular views of the lake, as well as an opportunity to marvel at the skill of the builders of the Going to the Sun Road. One thing you'll notice as you approach from the east is in fact, the majority of the visitors to the network of hotels and chalets operated by the Great Northern rode horses, and these chalets served as a hub for horseback travel over Pegan Pass to get to Mini Glacier, or over Gunsight Pass to the Lake McDonald Valley. The chalets were closed during World War II and sadly never reopened again. During the war, the buildings fell into disrepair and were finally razed in 1949 due to their dilapidated condition. You can still visit the site of the chalets, which is a short walk from the parking area. As you stand at the old location, imagine sitting on the balcony of this spectacular hotel, overlooking the amazing vista, sharing tales of the day's trail ride with new friends as you rest up for a hearty dinner in the dining room. Today, the Sun Point Nature Trail starts here and offers outstanding views of St. Mary Lake, the stunning mountains of St. Mary Valley, and into the high country towards Logan Pass. The trail winds through forests and meadows to Bering Falls, where the water cascades across a sheer cliff into a natural basin carved in the rock. Hikers can also connect this trail with the St. Mary Falls Trail, the trail to Virginia Falls, or the Sunrift Gorge Trail, ending their hike at either the St. Mary Falls Trailhead Shuttle Stop or the Sunrift Gorge Shuttle Stop. Vehicles longer than 21 feet and wider than 8 feet are prohibited on the Going to the Sun Road beyond Sun Point. Oversized vehicle parking is available at Sun Point, and drivers can connect to the shuttle system at this shuttle stop. In addition, a picnic area is located here.
See what it is?
Huh?
Can you see what everybody's looking at?
No? Can't see it.
That sign was for St. Mary Falls.
Yeah. So, did we already go across the bridge?
I don't know. What was it? Was aware of it
It's
if
a
we
shuttle
did.
stop.
Is there a thing for St. Mary Falls?
Let me. No. Trailhead. St. Mary Falls. Oh yeah, it's a trailhead. Okay. Well, we must have already gone over the bridge.
Yeah, it's
The shuttle
possible.
stop here at St. Mary Falls Trailhead provides access to several hiking areas on the east side of the park. Visitors are encouraged to pick up a free copy of the Day Hikes in Glacier newspaper. The maps and trail information inside the paper will help visitors match their interests and abilities to the many hikes in Glacier National Park, their mountain summits, Pegan Glacier, and Morning Eagle Falls. The 10.3-mile Sayi Pass Trail climbs through wildflower-carpeted Preston Park to the rugged saddle of Sayi Pass, with views across the St. Mary Valley as well as peaks south along the Continental Divide. The descent into the valley of Bering Creek begins with views of Sexton Glacier and winds through grassy slopes and stands of Douglas fir. The trail ends at Sunrift Gorge and another shuttle stop. While hard to appreciate while standing next to the Going to the Sun Road today, this area presented a real challenge to the builders of the road. A massive amount of material was required to bridge the gulch between Pegan and Going to the Sun Mountains and support the road. Far beneath the fill, a 10-foot by 10-foot culvert accented by masonry work and a 16-foot headwall channels Sayi Creek under the road.
So I guess that's up here somewhere.
I think it's right in here.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I don't see the Sayi Creek. I saw the Pecan.
one of the most difficult challenges on the entire Going to the Sun Road. Built in 1931, the 408-foot tunnel appears to come directly out of Pegan Mountain, with waterfalls cascading down the portal. Before work could begin, a 3.5-mile trail was constructed 200 feet above the road from Logan Pass to a point above the site of the tunnel. A platform on which to work was excavated by moving 6,250 cubic yards of dirt and rock. The materials and equipment were hauled to the platform above the tunnel site and then were packed by laborers down ladders and switchbacks totaling 200 vertical feet.
Wow.
Crews worked 24 hours a day on the tunnel, boring around 5 foot each 24 hours. Both portals of the tunnel frame impressive mountain views. In November of 2006, severe rain and flooding washed out multiple sections of both lanes on the Going to the Sun Road near the tunnel. The largest washout was over 100 feet long. Within days, heavy snows prevented access, and repairs had to wait until spring road crews could plow their way to the damaged sites. Several strategies were explored for repairs, and eventually it was decided that a mechanically stabilized earthen wall 350 feet long would solve one problem, and a temporary bridge would be required to provide two-way traffic over another spot. Work will continue on some of the damaged locations throughout the summer, as well as the ongoing rehabilitation of the Going to the Sun Road that was previously scheduled. This incident is another reminder of the power of nature and reiterates the need to rehabilitate the Going to the Sun Road so future generations can enjoy its majesty.
This may be the wall.
We're up there. Yikes.
Surrounded by carpets of wildflowers in the summer, Lunch Creek flows down a natural rock staircase from the striking backdrop of Pollock Mountain. It was named for its popularity as a lunch stop for early visitors to the park and remains a popular stop on the road today. No formal trails exist here, so please enjoy the area from the paved parking. Over time, park visitors have continued to venture off the road and up the creek, exploring the area, and in the process have created a network of social trails into this sensitive and fragile habitat. In order to protect the area from curious feet, Glacier National Park has performed extensive revegetation work to rehabilitate Lunch Creek and eliminate the traces of trails by replanting native vegetation. Please notice the signs marking these rehabilitated areas and do not venture in them. If you're interested in the process of revegetation, plan on visiting the park's native plant nursery at the headquarters area in West Glacier. Each year, as projects are identified, native seeds are collected prior to the disturbance, grown in the nursery, and then returned to the disturbed sites when the plants are mature enough to survive on their own. This helps to maintain the genetic integrity of specific locations around the park and provides the plants with the greatest opportunities to survive in the wild. Every Tuesday throughout the summer, tours are conducted at the native plant nursery at 10 a.m. Join us at the nursery for this. There's almost no better place in the park to see them than at Oberlin Bend. This section of the Going to the Sun Road travels along the cliffs and past the waterfalls just west of Logan Pass. The rock ledges and abundant vegetation provides ideal habitat for the shaggy white mountain goat. Watch for the little ones skipping about the rock cliffs in areas that would terrify most humans. Within days of being born, they are following mom up incredibly steep slopes. Sometimes the goats wander right down to the road or through the parking lot, however, so please remember that all park wildlife is wild. Although they may seem tolerant, they can also cause injury. Do not feed or approach them. Please help us keep wild goats wild and visible for years to come. Oberlin Bend also provides one of the best views of the Going to the Sun Road. Park your car and take the short boardwalk to the viewing platform. The sweeping vista of the garden wall with the Going to the Sun Road snaking along its cliffs is impressive. On a clear day, you can see all the way to the high peaks near the border with Canada, and, if you know where to look, you can spot Granite Park Chalet on a ridge high above the loop. Portions of this boardwalk were designed to be accessible by wheelchair, and if you notice, it's made out of a metal grate material. A former park superintendent saw similar walkways in parks in Australia and brought the idea back to Glacier on his return. The grate allows snow to fall through the walkway and helps relieve the pressure of the winter snows, and it also helps sunlight to penetrate below and maintain native vegetation under the boardwalk. Triple Arches is probably one of the most recognized features along the Going to the Sun Road. Built to span several large gaps in the mountainside, engineers had originally planned to create a large retaining wall and use huge amounts of fill to build up the roadbed. Designers came up with a more elegant solution by constructing a series of 3 arches to span the gaps. It is a reflection of the care and dedication evident throughout the original construction of the Going to the Sun Road. Probably, as you've been driving the road, you really didn't notice most of the bridges, guardrails, and structures along the way. That's because the original designers of the road worked hard to create a road that blended with the environment rather than competed with it. As you continue on, however, give them a second glance. Even simple culverts in many locations are beautiful creations constructed of the same multicolored rock from the surrounding mountains. The Going to the Sun Road is one of 6 National Historic Landmarks in the park and one of a very few roads in the country to make that list. Today there is a massive rehabilitation project in progress along the entire length of the Going to the Sun Road. Engineers and contractors are working hard to ensure that the historic features of the road are maintained while creating a road that meets modern safety and traffic requirements. It's a challenging job and will take several more years. Is a wide, sweeping curve about midway between the Loop and Logan Pass. Dramatic vistas of the Lake McDonald Valley and the high peaks of Mount Cannon, Oberlin, and Heavens Peak make this a great place to stop and take a break from driving. Scan the hillsides for goats and the occasional bighorn sheep, although the sheep are hard to spot since they blend into the surroundings so well. Often, however, mountain goats can be seen resting on the impossibly steep cliffs overhead. Binoculars or a spotting scope will help. As you look up the mountainside, you'll notice several huge avalanche paths. The lack of trees attests to the fact that tons of snow and ice roar down these paths every year. It presents a difficult challenge to the park road crews every spring as they begin the annual plowing operations to reopen the road. Some years the avalanches are small and the snowplows can make short work of them, but often the crews discover 30 to 40 feet of snow piled over the roadbed, and it can take a week or more to plow this one short section of road.
congested area. Let's put it mildly.
The smaller and more intimate of Glacier's campgrounds, Spray Creek. Its 25 sites and proximity to the lakeshore make this a prime spot for campers in the know. Several of the sites overlook the water and offer spectacular views. Due to its small size and the narrow loop road, trailers and other towed units are not allowed, making this the ideal spot for tent campers. Its proximity to the Going to the Sun Road might allow for more noise during the day than other campgrounds, but nighttime traffic is minimal. A picnic area next to the campground provides day use access for those just passing through. It's a great place to stop, enjoy a snack, and play on the lakeshore as well. Directly across the lake from the campground is Howe Ridge. In August of 2003, Howe Ridge was the scene of one of the most spectacular fires in Glacier's history. Pushed by high winds, the fire raced up the lakeshore in a matter of hours and threatened to continue on up the valley. Firefighters used a procedure called a burnout to stop the fire at the base of Stanton Mountain. A burnout is pretty much just what it sounds like. A controlled fire is purposely set in a specific location to burn out all the potential fuel for an advancing fire. The burnout on Stanton Mountain took place at night and offered an amazing view from the lakeshore just below the campground. You can still see the dead trees across the lake today, and if you look closely, the strip of dead trees going up the mountain that contained the fire and stopped its spread up the valley. Glacier's new free shuttle system stops here also, so leave the car at the campsite and hop on the shuttle to enjoy an evening program at Lake McDonald Lodge, dinner at the restaurant, or a car-free day in the park.
I've been looking for the sign. I missed the sign last time we were at Lake McDonald. I was going to pull through it if last time. I just never saw the sign.
Aguilar, and we're hosts in Apgar Campground, Glacier National Park. We hope you'll come see us.
Apgar is the largest campground in Glacier and makes a good location for a base camp. Like most other campgrounds in the park, it has restrooms with flush toilets and cold running water. Picnic tables and fire grates are located at each campsite, and water spigots are located in each loop. Bear boxes are available throughout the campground for campers with no way to secure their food. Bears do wander through from time to time. Help us help bears by keeping a clean camp and never feeding any park wildlife. All food and any item that might attract a bear must never be left unattended, tightly secured in your vehicle or one of the bear boxes when you leave your campground for any length of time. Just across the road from the campground is the amphitheater, where rangers present evening programs in summer, and also where one of the shuttle stops for Glacier's new free transit system is located. A short walk or shuttle ride away is Apgar Village, where you can find a host of services including lodging, a restaurant, gift shops, and the Apgar Visitor Center. Stop in
to this largest lake in the park. There's something for everyone at Apgar Village, whether you are staying in the area or just passing through.
That whole mountain is burned.
Okay, that's the end.
Okay, here's Spray Creek.
Oh, so something was backwards. There was one other thing that was backwards too. got their bear signs up. Oh, you can't go in there, huh? Huh?
What's that?
Matt said that when he was, pulling the knapweed, telling me about the knapweed, he said, I said, well, I mean, can you ever get rid of it? And he said, nah, can't get rid of it. It's extremely invasive. And he said, but we keep picking it. And he said, and actually this valley has less in it than the other valleys. We're always after it. And he showed me, I mean,
massive wall of cliffs here. These limestone cliffs posed a significant challenge to road builders. In order to construct the road along the cliffs, workers blasted rock out of the mountainsides to allow for a wider road and to provide stone for rock work. The large retaining wall is 550 feet long and almost 30 feet high. It was built in just 5 weeks in 1933 and was one of the first improvements to the road after an interesting look at an important aspect of Glacier's natural resources preservation program.
Here's one of those trails.
Nearly 2 million visitors will come to Logan Pass during the short 2 to 3 month summer season. This shuttle stop is literally the high point of the Going to the Sun Road, as well as the high point of many visits to the park. The pass sits along the Continental Divide at 6,646 feet and treats visitors to sweeping vistas of mountains and subalpine meadows full of colorful wildflowers. The rangers at the Logan Pass Visitor Center can assist with answers to questions about the area and information on plants, wildlife, and hikes. A bookstore is also located in the Visitor Center. From the back of the Visitor Center, a boardwalk crossing flowering meadows leads to Hidden Lake Overlook. Snow often remains on the trail well into summer. This 1.5-mile walk provides visitors with dramatic views of Mount Reynolds, Clements Mountain, and sparkling Hidden Lake. Hikers can continue another 1.5 miles down a steep trail to the lake where Bear Hat Mountain rises high above on the far side. Please remain on the boardwalk and trail. A careless human step will leave a huge impact to plants in this fragile environment. Some may only grow. Avalanches are a real danger to the road crew as well, and USGN's avalanche specialists work hand in hand with the park to assess and monitor the snowpack and advise the staff of conditions. Spotters on the crews stand guard to radio reports of any snow movement high on the slopes in time to warn workers below. When weather prevents adequate observation or when snow conditions are deemed unsafe, plowing is not permitted. Safety is paramount, even if it delays the opening of the road by a day or two.
I think we're not caught up to the wasn't when it talks about the bend, isn't that where the Heaven's Peak is and all that? I didn't see I thought I knew where the 3 arches were, but I haven't seen them. Aren't they in that place where we saw the 3 sheep and where we stopped to go to the bathroom and all that?
Do you need to stop this time?
lot more cleared out than it was before. The ice. Yeah, the waterfalls are pretty full this time.
Back this way. arches. 'Cause
Yeah, that's where I kind of
this
thought
whole
they were.
thing is recorded to go eastbound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to switch it around.
How did you switch it around?
Take each file,
Okay.
the location.
Yeah, I
change
think
the order.
I think the 3 arches are covered up by the snow right now. There's a big snowbank right there. Leaping wall.
I did that all in preparation for our visit with Huck and Heather.
With Buck and Heather.
Huck and Heather.
Huck and Heather.
Huck and Heather.
So when did we get this recording?
The week before. I mean, I downloaded it off the Glacier site.
Okay, so it was a
And
download.
then each file was downloaded, and then I reversed the order of them.
Okay. That's a lot of work.
But getting some good use today. Well, a lot of it, what appeared to be happening was sinus and allergy stuff.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, she must have just had allergies that kind of went to her chest. Do you know I had
There it is.
I had a lot of issues with allergies when I was first got here, and I don't know how to take a picture of it. It's gonna have to be
Windshield.
through the windshield. Okay. Oh shoot! It's just trying to get it a little bit bigger. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's might be better from your angle because I can really see that one. about both Instagram and Facebook because you get on them now and it's all advertisements. There's almost nothing there that, you know, it used to be a personal thing that you could, you know, show your friends and that kind of thing, but now it's just not that way anymore. And I'm just going, it's all advertisements and, you know, reels that you couldn't care less about, and so that's part of the reason I haven't really done anything with it, because it's stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. It's clearly a mind-grabbing
Attention.
thing. Yeah, I mean, I can see how it just can pull people in, and I'm just resisting that. Oh, that gate's closed. Parking is less than stellar today.
It's hard to.
I mean, you could get in there, probably.
Yeah, but it was so hard to get out of there the
Oh,
other
that's
day.
right. You did it last time, yeah, because you had to come and turn to get out. Ugh. I need to,
That glare, I can barely
I know.
see.
I'm gonna pour this other coffee in here before I go in there. I wonder what year this was made.
He said last year in 2006 when he was talking about a fire.
Okay, yeah, I heard him say 2006. I didn't hear the last year part.
And when he talked about the glaciers all being gone in 2030.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty close to 2030.
And they're still here.
Here's the headlights.
Oh, this is I'm
You
still
go.
looking for the bend.
Okay.
But do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I imagine they had something for Bird Woman Fall. But let's just go to the next one. Let's
All right.
pick it up again.
Okay. Big Bend. Oh, yeah, wow. That's Weeping Wall. Yeah. Okay. Well, we must have missed something somewhere.
Yeah.
This series of waterfalls delights early season visitors to the park as they drive right by, and for westbound travelers, sometimes right through its spray. More than one savvy driver has driven just a tad closer to the cliff edge by this spot, surprising passengers in the back seat with a hefty dose of clear, cold mountain water as it splashes through the open windows. By August, the gushing torrent dries up to a mere trickle and looks more like a weeping wall than the impressive cascades seen when the road first opens in early summer. Most people don't realize that this entire series of waterfalls is a remnant of the construction of the Going to the Sun Road. As engineers carved through the rock here, they created a cliff which water from springs and melting snows above pour over and onto the road surface below. Special drains were designed into the road to allow the bulk of water to pass below the pavement, but on days of especially heavy flow, a small stream of water covers both lanes of traffic for a short distance.
Birdwoman Falls. This is Birdwoman Falls.
From this spot, visitors often confuse the series of cascades on Haystack Creek directly in front of them for Birdwoman Falls. But Birdwoman Falls is actually the 492-foot drop across the valley between Mount Oberlin on the left and Mount Cannon on the right. Notice the broad U-shaped bowl above the waterfall, and then look down to the valley to the right and notice the same broad U shape. Both features are the results of glaciers. Ice Age glaciers that flowed down the valleys here ground and carved the landscape. The Lake McDonald Valley shows the familiar rounded bottom of a valley that was created by a glacier. Ice up to 3,000 feet thick filled this area as recently as 12,000 years ago. Smaller glaciers tucked high into the mountains ground away and created bowl-like depressions called cirques and hanging valleys like you see immediately above Birdwoman Falls. A hanging valley is created when one of the smaller glaciers meets one of the larger valley glaciers. It can't carve as quickly as its massive cousin, and so creates a smaller hanging valley up on the mountain. Look for these features throughout the park. Often, since they generally end in a cliff, hanging valleys have impressive waterfalls pouring out of them. Birdwoman Falls was once fed by an active glacier in the cirque above, but today there is merely a snowfield to feed the waterfall. In especially dry years, Birdwoman Falls dries up by fall. Switchbacks are a common design feature of many mountain roads. Generally, the only way to get up and over a pass is to switch back and forth several times to gain the elevation needed. If the Going to the Sun Road had been built following one design plan, it would have had 15 switchbacks climbing up the head of Logan Creek directly below Logan Pass. Imagine trying to plow that road every spring. Snowplows would continually be pushing snow onto already plowed areas over and over again. Well, in 1924, Frank Kittredge of the Bureau of Public Roads directed a survey of potential routes over Logan Pass. His team started in September and was able to map out 21 miles before winter closed in. The work was difficult, and men often had to climb 3,000 feet each morning to get to the survey sites. The crews walked along narrow ledges and hung over cliffs by rope to make many of the measurements. The work was extremely challenging and resulted in a 300% turnover in labor in just 3 months. But the survey work did pay off, and in late 1924, National Park Service Director Stephen Mather approved Kittredge's alternate route. It contained only one switchback and followed McDonald Creek, where it turned north before looping back on itself and continuing up the Garden Wall in one long, continuous path. The current route allows for greater views of the park and blends well into the landscape. The work of Kitteridge and the Bureau of Public Roads resulted in a partnership with the National Park Service to construct roads throughout the national park system. The Bureau of Public Roads became the Federal Highway Administration, and today that partnership still continues. Through the West Tunnel, imagine the time and manpower it took to bore through 192 feet of mountain using 1926 technology. Dynamite and jackhammers were used by men working double and triple shifts tackling this monumental task in October of 1926. Finally, winter temperatures of 32 degrees below zero forced workers to stop working and come back in April of 1927 to finish the job. Two interesting and impressive features of the tunnel are the observation windows that were created to offer spectacular views of Heaven's Peak and the upper McDonald Creek Valley. A sidewalk lines the tunnel and allows access to the window ports within. Please use extra caution as you walk inside the tunnel, as drivers passing in vehicles may not be able to see well in the reduced light inside the tunnel. As originally constructed, the tunnel was unlined, and over time seeping water started to weaken the roof, and bits of rock would occasionally fall onto the roadbed and passing vehicles. Its current smooth inner lining was installed to prevent damage to passing vehicles and help stabilize the roof. Creek area is one of the most popular and crowded spots in the park. The old-growth cedars and hemlocks are unlike anywhere else in the park and would look more at home on the coasts of Washington and Oregon than in the Rocky Mountains. However, rains from clouds trapped by the Continental Divide make this an inviting habitat for a wide array of plants and animals. A campground and a picnic area are located here, but the real draws are the two popular trails that allow exploration of this unique part of the park. The Trail of the Cedars is an easy 1/2 mile wheelchair-accessible loop trail into the cool and inviting old-growth forest. Huge western